Howdy folks, welcome back to another episode of Mingles with Jingles. It's going to be a quick episode of Mingles with Jingles, and yes, quick even by my standards, because it's coming a day late due to my computer being completely buggered. Those of you who watched the Cursors Foiled Again video, which was completely without commentary because of various problems with Windows Update, rendered all my microphones unusable. There was nothing wrong with my microphones. There was nothing wrong with my sound card. It was the microphone controller in Windows, which was just one of the many things that the latest bunch of Windows critical updates have been breaking on millions of computers. Microsoft have actually confessed to liability for the clusterfuck, to use the correct technical term, that was the latest batch of Windows updates. I don't want to bore you with the technical details, but I tried absolutely everything to try to restore my system to a state where my microphones worked and I could actually go ahead and record commentary on videos and put it on YouTube for you guys. Nothing worked, of course. I couldn't manually uninstall any of the... Well, I could... There were 21 different critical updates that Microsoft foisted on us with the last batch of Windows updates. Of the 21, I was able to uninstall 17 of them. 4 of them wouldn't uninstall. One of them, at least one of them, was the one that had been causing all the problems. So that was fun. So the next thing I try to do is a full system restore. Roll back to a system restore point from before when I installed the updates. That failed. With no explanation given, just, no, system restore failed. What do you mean it failed? How can it fail? So, yeah, nice one, Microsoft. Well done. So, I'm sitting here staring at microphones that have no recording levels and just aren't recording anything. And Windows is going, these devices are working properly. No, they're not. Look at them. No, these devices are working properly. Look, would you just, look, there's not, no. These devices are working properly. Yeah, I can't hear you. So that was, yeah, suboptimal. And the only thing that was left for me to do was to do a repair install of Windows 7. Now, a repair install is different to a full install, because a repair install leaves all of your folders intact and everything that's installed stays installed. But of course, to do a repair install, you need your original Windows 7 disk, and I couldn't find it. Now, there was a whole bunch of you offered some fantastic advice on what to do in these sort of circumstances. Since I do have a legitimate copy of Windows 7 and I do have a legitimate serial key for Windows 7, this should have been a relatively painless process. Unfortunately, I had already exhausted all my options trying to go out and buy a copy of Windows 7 on the day, and came home and ordered a copy through Amazon before putting the Cursors Foiled video up to explain what was going on. And then, of course, all of the fantastic suggestions that you guys made came in. A little bit too late, but my own fault for not putting the video up first. All of which meant I had to sit around waiting until Monday for my new Windows 7 DVD to turn up, and then do a complete reinstall of Windows from the ground up. And not just reinstall Windows. Then I had to reinstall World of Tanks, the World of Tanks test server, War Thunder, Steam, all of my Steam games. Oh no. The good news, of course, is that now almost everything is back up and running. When it is all back up and running, I will be taking some of the fantastic advice that a lot of you guys gave and doing a full system backup, getting a full system image of a 100% healthy and working system. I've now got 800 gigabytes of spare capacity on my hard drive with all of the... It's amazing the amount of crap that you accumulate over the years. And I suppose, you know, in one way it's a good thing that this happened. Well, yeah, trying to look on the bright side. I have a cleaner system now. Everything is responding an awful lot faster with a full clean reinstall of Windows and absolutely everything. And I am never touching Windows Update again. Windows Update can kiss my big hairy balls. I have totally lost trust in more trouble than it's worth. My system works, everything does what it's supposed to do. Unless something goes wrong, in fact, even if something goes wrong, I just don't trust Windows Update anymore. So Windows Update can go and poke itself. And massive thanks to everybody who offered help and advice on fixing the problem. You know, even those of you who didn't understand what the problem was and offered the wrong advice. I mean, the fact that you at least went to the effort of trying to help anyway is fantastic. So, yeah, my subscribers, best on the planet. Anyway, so where does that leave us? Well, fully working system again. Got World of Tanks back up and running, got War Thunder back up and running. I've got the test server downloaded. I've been on the test server. I've done a quick and dirty patch 8.9 preview for World of Tanks. There's still stuff that I need to reinstall, but all the important stuff is there. So you can look forward to World of Tanks patch 8.9 test server videos. I'm going to be doing, well, obviously while the test server's up, I need to get on there while I can. Look at all those new German tank destroyers, which I think are fantastic. There's one, the tier 8, is it the tier 8? No, the tier 7 is just, it's not bad, it's just, there's nothing exciting about it. But the majority of these new German tank destroyers, I'm really, really liking the look of. And there's life in the old Marder 2 down at tier 3 as well. It's been rebalanced. Always a bit suspicious whenever Wargaming say they're rebalancing the Marder 2, but this time they've kind of nerfed it a little, but they've kind of buffed it as well, and I think it's actually a decent machine again. But that's all to come in other videos, not Mingles with Jingles. And since this is Mingles with Jingles, it's about time I got on with the main deal and started answering some of your questions. Although the first thing that I wanted to do was a quick shout out. I got messaged by a guy named Lord Rexasaur, and he has a friend called Silent Daimyo, who's actually the guy who got Lord Rexasaur into playing World of Tanks after watching some of my videos. So that's nice. However, lately it seems that Silent Daimyo has been having anger issues with World of Tanks. And we've all been there. I mean, I'm no stranger to it myself. I mean, listening to me lose the plot is one of the highlights of watching Quickie Baby or Circumflex's live streams. Apparently Angry Jingles is a very entertaining Jingles. But it doesn't do your blood pressure any good, and it certainly doesn't do your enjoyment of the game any good. And so Lord Rexasaur wanted me to give a shout out to Daimyo and just remind him that, at the end of the day, this is just a game. If it's making you that angry, you need to chill out, take a step back. We're supposed to be doing this for entertainment. If you're doing something that is making you rage, you should probably stop doing it for a while. Get a bit of perspective. Go and play something else, watch a movie, read a book, go and have a meal, have a drink, whatever. Stop doing things that make you angry, and get some sort of perspective on what it is you're doing. And everybody who plays a multiplayer online game, regardless whether it's World of Tanks, War Thunder, Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever, will hit those streaks where absolutely everything you touch turns to shit, right? Where you can't do anything right. And when that happens, you've got to stop. You absolutely have to stop. I mean, what I do on Circumflex's live stream when we're having, speaking of bad streaks, I mean, last week's live streams, both with Circumflexes and Quickie Baby, were just disastrous. Absolutely terrible. Some of the worst games we have played in living memory. I think we only won 20% of the games we played on Quickie Baby's live stream. And the statistics weren't much better on Circumflex's live stream earlier in the week. And what I do, even in the middle of a live stream when things are going that bad, and this is one of the reasons why I don't live stream myself. A lot of people keep saying, Jingles, why don't you do your own live stream? Well, and I keep saying, well, I'm not good enough. Well, there's all sorts of reasons, and I'm not good enough is one of the reasons. But if I'm running my own live stream, I don't have the luxury of taking a break when things start going badly. Right, Quickie Baby has to keep playing. Circumflexes has to keep playing. If I'm a guest on the live stream and the games are utterly dog shit, I have the luxury of saying, all right, and this is what I do on Circumflex's live stream. Say, okay, I'm going to quit the platoon for half an hour. I'm just going to talk to people in chat. And I just talk to the live stream audience. And we have a laugh. And it puts me back in the right frame of mind to get back into the platoon and play again. You're not doing yourself any favours if you're having terrible, terrible games. You're just battering your head against that brick wall over and over and over isn't doing you any favours, and certainly not very amusing or entertaining for the people who are playing with you, having to listen to you scream and rage all the time. I should probably take my own advice. Although apparently listening to me go on about what my team of Winderlickers are like is actually amusing for the live stream audience. I don't know. who am I to judge? They seem to find it amusing. I can almost hear the bags of popcorn being opened as everybody sits back in their seats getting ready to go get a front row ticket to one of my rants whenever things are going particularly badly in the middle of a live stream. But yeah, that's just me. I'm special. I mean, hell, things were going so badly during one of Circumflex's live streams that I actually quit World of Tanks there and then, and gave a running commentary over the over TeamSpeak to the Twitch audience while I was downloading and installing Hello Kitty Online. No, really, I have. Oh, of course, I'm going to have to re-download and reinstall it. But I actually, rather than play another game of World of Tanks in the middle of one of Circumflex's live streams because things were going so badly, I actually started playing Hello Kitty Online instead, and gave the audience a running commentary of the installation progress while I was going at it. So that's what I do. You know, just do something else, do something fun, do something amusing. Don't just keep trying to do the same broken crap over and over and over again when you're not in the right frame of mind to do it. That would be my advice anyway. By the way, just for anybody watching this War Thunder clip, which was a disaster, by the way, and I'll tell you why it was a disaster. You'll notice my throttle keeps going all over the place. This was the first game of War Thunder that I played after reinstalling the game, and I had forgotten, because I've had the game installed for 10 months now, that I had changed which keys control my throttle from the default, because I like to use W and S to control my elevators. And what I'm trying to do when I was turning on that P40 and P39 was use S to get more, power's the wrong word, but to get more turn by using my elevators. But the default setup in War Thunder is W and S controls your throttle. So every time I try to turn around, I kept setting my engine throttle to 0%. And this is the sort of thing that you forget about when you reinstall a fresh game and you use the default control setup. It's just... So this, you know, fun like this is the kind of the kind of fun I've been having today, trying to get all my old games working again. Anyway, enough of that. On with the questions. This one comes from Micah Rassi, or Ratsy. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. He wants to know, Jingles, have you ever considered doing any Let's Plays? I have done some. In fact, I'm in the middle of doing one at the moment. Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep for Borderlands 2. And they're not as popular as the War Thunder or the World of Tanks stuff, but don't really care. I enjoy doing them. And there are a couple of thousand of you out there who seem to enjoy watching them anyway. So I will keep doing them, but they're never going to be the main focus of the channel. The thing about doing a Let's Play is, well, I mean, there are a lot of channels out there that do nothing but Let's Plays. I mean, PewDiePie does a lot of Let's Plays, does he? I don't really know. I don't think I've ever watched a PewDiePie video. Nerd Cubed does a lot of Let's Plays, and he is absolutely hilarious. The thing about Nerd Cubed is that he just basically farts around. He doesn't do anything seriously, and he just does stupid stuff. And his voice and his mannerisms are just brilliant. I think he's one of the funniest people I have ever watched on YouTube. And that works for him, because when you're doing a Let's Play, you're basically the content. You know, the video, the game experience is exactly the same as for everybody else on YouTube doing a Let's Play on that channel. And so the only thing that's different about a Let's Play video is the person doing the Let's Play. And a lot of these Let's Play videos are just, you know, there's not much commentary on it. It's just somebody playing a game. And all you're really seeing is the gameplay. And in single-player games, the game plays the same regardless of who's playing it, to a large extent. And the only real difference is the personality of the person doing the commentary, the person playing the game. And that's why I think Nerd Cubed is absolutely hilarious. He's one of the funniest people I've ever seen. I highly recommend his stuff if you're into Let's Plays. And I do some of them myself. And hopefully they are amusing. But it's never going to be the focus of the channel, because when you're playing a multiplayer game against other people, I mean, that's the big strength of multiplayer. You can never predict exactly what's going to happen each time you play. You know, things are every time you hit that random battle button in World of Tanks or War Thunder, you're never sure exactly what's going to happen next. And that's the advantage that multiplayer has over single-player Let's Play channels, for example. Although I think I could probably make a success of doing Let's Plays, but I don't... You see, the other problem that I have with doing Let's Play videos is, and it's, you know, it's nothing specifically against doing that kind of video at all, it's just the whole dilution of effort. I mean, I routinely do 8, 9, 10 hours a day just bringing you the content that I'm bringing you, War Thunder and World of Tanks, with the occasional dabble in things like Borderlands 2 or Aliens, Colonial Marines, or Skyrim, you know, stuff like that. And that's really just focusing on 2 games and doing a Mingles with Jingles every week. And the airsoft stuff as well. Yes. See, already I've got fingers in all kinds of different pies. And that's a lot of work every day just to bring you the stuff that I'm bringing you. And if I was to start doing Let's Play series as well, you know, that's spreading yourself around awfully thin. And I mean, at the moment, if I put a War Thunder video up one day, and then a World of Tanks video up the next day, and then a War Thunder video up the day after that, the day I put the second War Thunder video up, somebody's complaining in the comments that there's no World of Tanks video that day. And imagine that, you know, just imagine how much worse that would be if I was doing War Thunder, then World of Tanks, then Let's Play Tomb Raider, then Airsoft, then War Thunder. By day 3, without a War Thunder or World of Tanks video, there would be a mutiny. You know, you can laugh, but that's what happens. And Let's Play videos take an awful lot of work as well. I mean, you'd be forgiven for watching some of the Let's Play videos on other people's channels for thinking that, well, all he's doing is just playing a game and pressing the record button and, you know, uploading that to YouTube. And, well, there's a lot more to it, goes on behind the scenes. There's so much editing involved in doing a proper Let's Play video, or at least there is when I do one. I don't know, maybe I'm just being too professional about it, but I like to think there's a certain standard, you know, there's a certain quality level that I try to maintain. And, yeah, I don't know. I guess in a nutshell, yeah, certainly. I have done Let's Play videos. I am going to continue to do Let's Play videos, but they're never going to be the main focus of the channel. It's going to be, I mean, there's more than enough to keep people interested, just World of Tanks and War Thunder. I mean, World of Tanks has got all sorts of new stuff coming out. War Thunder's got the ground forces, combined arms battles. I mean, there's plenty of stuff there to keep, well, certainly to keep me occupied and hopefully keep you lot entertained. And then every now and then I'll be tossing in, I mean, I've still got all those games from the Steam Summer Sale, which I have recorded some footage of, but I've not got around to showing you yet, and I intend to do not so much Let's Plays, but reviews and guides, if you like, to those games as well. Of course, I've got to re-download and reinstall them all again after the colossal screw-up with Windows Update over the weekend, but they're still on the radar, and that's still something that I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I will do Let's Play videos, but the World of Tanks and War Thunder stuff isn't going anywhere. Next question comes from Killer in the Shadows 6. He wants to know, Jingles, do you prefer the War Thunder approach of having the tanks as they were in real life, or do you like the World of Tanks approach of using non-historical tanks and guns? I like both approaches. I like that War Thunder has tried to keep things as accurate and realistic as possible. But don't forget that certain of those War Thunder tech trees, they're going to have to put in things that only existed as prototypes or design drawings. Look at the Japanese fighters, for example. They're really struggling to fill the higher tier Japanese tech tree with stuff that actually existed. I mean, even if you look at the KI-200, that thing only existed in the prototype stage, and it never flew successfully. And that's, you know, the highest rank aircraft that's currently available to the Japanese. So you could argue that War Thunder already are putting in fantasy aircraft. Although they're doing it to a much, much lesser degree than World of Tanks does. But at the same time, I mean, hasn't anybody ever wondered what it'd be like to drive a mouse in battle? And I think that's one of the strengths of World of Tanks. And I know a lot of people keep knocking it for having lots and lots and lots of machines that only ever existed as blueprints. But that's probably one of the strengths of the game. Depends how you look at it. I mean, yeah, sure, if you're one of those people that like their games as realistic as possible, then absolutely. World of Tanks approach is going to be not for you. On the other hand, if you're one of those people who always wondered what it'd be like if an Imperial Star Destroyer got into a battle with a USS Enterprise, World of Tanks is your game. And I do keep banging on about this every time somebody asks me this kind of question about the two games. And my answer is never going to change. It's whatever floats your boat. There is absolutely no reason why you can't play them both. And if you just don't like a certain style, then play the other game. Simple as that. Personally, I like both approaches, and I'm just lucky enough that there are two games out of there that satisfy both approaches, and I can play both of them. I mean, I dare say there are probably people out there who think that arcade battles in War Thunder, for example, just aren't arcade enough. And if that's the case, aren't you lucky World of Warplanes is out there? I mean, I can't stand World of Warplanes, but there are plenty of people who love it, and they love it precisely because of the arcade nature of the game. And I like my fast-paced arcade tank battles, and that's why I'm always going to love World of Tanks. But at the same time, every now and then I get the hankering for something with a little bit more meat on the bones. And I dare say historical battles in World of Tanks is going to satisfy that particular itch for me. Of course, not everybody has the time and luxury to be able to devote enough time to both games to advance down the tech trees in both games, and some people are going to have to make the decision of which one they're going to play, and it basically comes down to where your preferences lie. A lot of people have obviously already invested a lot of time and effort into World of Tanks, but for one reason or another, maybe you're just getting frustrated with the usual abysmal level of teamwork that goes on in your average World of Tanks random battle. But there's no guarantee that the standard of play in a War Thunder arcade tank battle is going to be any higher. They're the same audience. And of course, World of Tanks in patch 8.9 is introducing team battles, where you have ranked matchmaking in World of Tanks at long last. So you will be matched it's sort of a mini company battle, but you'll be matched against people of an equivalent efficiency, if you like, as yourself. So don't give up on World of Tanks just yet. Wargaming are not going to go down without a fight. So there's plenty still to play for in World of Tanks. And if you do have to, and there are going to be people out there who are going to have to choose between the two games. I mean, I keep saying there's no reason why you can't play them both, because they both offer a different experience. And they're both free-to-play games. But there are people who do have to choose between the two of them because they just don't have the time to devote to the two different games. And if you're one of those people, then all I would say is play them both. Decide which one you like the best of. Which one you like the look of the most. Which one you enjoy the most. Don't base your decisions on what some idiot on YouTube tells you to do. Make your own mind up. Play them both. You can certainly play them both. They're both free to play. And if you have to choose one or the other, then make that decision based on what you think you're going to get out of it, not what some minor internet YouTube celebrity tells you to do. Even though what I am telling you to do is actually make your own mind up. In that case, you should listen to what I'm telling you to do, which is to make your own mind up. Oh, you know what I mean. And that, I'm afraid, is all I've got time for this week. I still have a massive reinstalling to do before the computer is back to the state that it was in before the whole disaster with Windows Update on Thursday of last week. Thank you once again to everybody who offered masses of help, support and advice while I was trying to get everything back up and running. I have the best subscribers on the planet. It is official. And even though I'm still not completely done reinstalling everything, I thought that I had to do a Mingles with Jingles video this week. I couldn't go a week without doing one. So even though it's a day late, and it's a lot shorter than you're used to, at least I managed to get one up this week. Hopefully by tomorrow I will have finished reinstalling everything that I needed to reinstall. I'm going to get myself back on the patch 8.9 test server World of Tanks, have a look at those new German tank destroyers, the new Russian Tier 7 premium tank, the Japanese premium tank, the team-based matchmaking mode, all that good stuff, as well as the usual War Thunder content that you're used to seeing here on Wargaming with the mighty Jingles. As always, folks, take care on that battlefield, watch your six, whatever you're playing, have fun playing it, and I'll catch you next time.